Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the ultimate student's guide to research, and specifically, we're going to completely transform how you tackle the dreaded literature review. So if you've ever felt totally lost in a sea of academic papers, well, you're in exactly the right place. We're exploring a seriously fascinating tool from Student CV Builder called the AI Citation Storyteller and Debate Visualizer. Be honest for a second. Have you ever just stared at a wall of endless, disconnected academic references and felt completely, utterly overwhelmed? You pull up a STEM paper or an economics journal, and it's just block after block of names and years. Smith 2019 says this, Jones 2020 says that. If you've ever felt like you're drowning in dry citations, I promise you, you are not alone. It's a completely universal student experience to look at a bibliography and just feel a massive wave of sheer exhaustion. Right, we all know the pain, slogging through all that dense text, trying to find connections. It just turns into this passive, frustrating copy-paste chore. You end up dropping quotes into your essay without really grasping the dynamic relationship between the authors. And that makes writing a cohesive literature review feel almost impossible. So let's move into Section 1, Research is a Debate, a New Paradigm. It's time to stop looking at research as this solitary, isolated reading task. Notice the stark contrast we have going on here. Instead of treating your sources like an isolated wall of text, the debate visualizer actually transforms them into a dynamic, chronological script. It lets you genuinely understand who argued what and exactly how those theories evolved over time. You're no longer just reading, you're actively observing an ongoing argument. The whole platform operates on this one brilliant core concept. Every citation is an active turn in an academic debate. I really want you to think about that for a second. This idea completely reframes your literature review into a lively dinner party. When someone publishes a paper, they aren't just shouting into the void, right? They're responding to someone else. They're taking their turn in a massive multi-year debate. And honestly, once you see every citation as an active turn in that debate, the whole academic world suddenly makes a whole lot more sense. Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, the cast of characters and mapping out specific roles. Okay, let's dive into this cast of characters. First to arrive at our academic dinner party is the initiator. The visualizer identifies the foundational paper that really gets the conversation started. This is the author who proposed the original baseline idea. Because think about it, without the initiator, there literally is no debate. They set the stage, they laid down the initial theory, and they essentially give everyone else in your literature review something to actually talk about. Next up, bringing the drama, is the challenger. The visualizer flags the papers that look directly at the initiator's original idea and criticize it, counter it, or find flaws in it. And the challenger is absolutely crucial because they're the ones driving the academic field forward. They're standing up and saying, hold on a minute, this baseline idea doesn't work in this specific scenario. Or, hey, the methodology here is flawed. They create the tension that makes your literature review genuinely interesting. So once the challenger tears down that baseline, we've got a conflict. Enter the synthesizer. This is the peacemaker of the group. The visualizer maps out the papers that brilliantly combine these opposing viewpoints to actually resolve the conflict. They take the best parts of the initiator's idea, they acknowledge the challenger's valid critiques, and they build a newer, stronger, much more nuanced theory out of it. And finally, we meet the adapter. Once the synthesizer has resolved the core conflict, the adapter comes along to see just how far this new theory can go. The visualizer shows you which papers tested or expanded upon that resolved work in entirely new contexts. Maybe they're applying an economic theory to a new geographic region, or testing a STEM hypothesis using a brand new piece of technology. The crucial point here is that they're adapting the hard-won conclusions of the debate to fresh environments. Now let's get into Section 3, visualizing your academic script and tracking the interactions. This perfectly illustrates the real power of the debate visualizer. By tracing how theories evolved chronologically, you transform a messy pile of citations into a clear, compelling story. Just imagine looking at your research and seeing exactly this timeline unfold. In year 1, the initiator proposes the idea. In year 3, the challenger finds the flaws. By year 6, the synthesizer resolves it. And by year 10, the adapter tests it. When you paste your review, citations, or abstract into Student CV Builder, it automatically generates this stance and role map for you. So instead of agonizing over what to write, your literature review basically writes itself as a chronological narrative. And that's exactly why understanding this tool is the ultimate student's guide to research. Moving on to Section 4, your ultimate student toolkit and the broader ecosystem. Now, while the AI citation storyteller completely revolutionizes how you read, it's actually just one part of Student CV Builder, which is designed to be the #1 AI-powered career platform for your entire journey. It so neatly bridges the gap between academics and your future career. On the academic side, you've got tools to polish your coursework, right? Like the AI citation cleaner, the AI essay humanizer, the AI equation writer, and even a handy GPA converter. Then on the career prep side, it directly connects your academic success to the professional world. We're talking a CV builder, cover letter templates, personal statement builders, and a massive database of scholarships. It's a really holistic approach to student success, making sure that all the hard work you put into understanding these academic debates translates directly into real-world professional opportunities. So, what's the big takeaway here? Basically, research doesn't have to be a passive chore anymore. The next time you sit down to write a literature review, I want you to ask yourself, are you just copying citations, or are you actually mapping the debate? Who are the specific characters in your research, and what compelling story are they waiting for you to tell?